If you want to see the true measure of a man, watch how he treats his inferiors, not his equals. I was set free because my greatest fear had been realized, and I still had a daughter who I adored, and I had an old typewriter and a big idea. And so rock bottom became a solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. I sometimes have a tendency to walk on the dark side. The moment you are old enough to take the wheel, responsibility lies with you. And the idea of just wandering off to a cafe with a notebook and writing and seeing where that takes me for a while is just bliss. Never be ashamed. There's some who'll hold it against you, but they're not worth bothering with. Poverty entails fear and stress and sometimes depression. It meets 1,000 petty humiliations and hardships. Climbing out of poverty by your own efforts, that is something on which to pride yourself, but poverty itself is romanticized by fools. The most important thing is to read as much as you can, like I did. It will give you an understanding of what makes good writing, and it will enlarge your vocabulary. I think you have a moral responsibility when you've been given far more than you need, to do wise things with it and give intelligently. When people are very damaged, they can often meet the world with a kind of defiance. There are some things you can't share without ending up liking each other. I've never managed to keep a journal longer than 2 weeks. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you have failed by default. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. Never trust anything that can think for itself if you can't see where it keeps its brain. The truth. It is a beautiful and terrible thing, and must therefore be treated with great caution. Youth cannot know how age thinks and feels. But old men are guilty if they forget what it was to be young. Every now and then I read a poem that does touch something in me, but I never turn to poetry for solace or pleasure in the way that I throw myself into prose. Thank you for watching.